break of the body. You begin to feel a warmth of fire. This is the arrival to your final destination. Welcome to eternal damnation. You are now entering hell.
Sure, that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hi.
Yeah. It's hard to headbang when it's buffering because you get into it and it's like silence. Good evening, everyone. I hope y'all
That was
are
brutal.
enjoying. Yeah, that was brutal, all right. And so are we. But good evening, everyone. Daylight savings and the Oscars and all sorts of good shit. And we're pretty much running on 2 brain cells because daylight is a motherfucker and it needs to be abolished. So before anything else, let's run around and say hi to everybody. I got my Malibu and you know, I'm keeping it light tonight. Malibu and pineapple. So blah. Hi, Rob. How you doing? What are you drinking?
I'm having a gin and tonic, and I'm having a very special gin and tonic. And later, I'll explain to you just how special this gin and tonic is.
Ooh.
But it's very special.
Very special.
Very
like
special. And
wearing a helmet special?
It's like short bus special. Well, for the record, I'm drinking it out of a Lego movie cup. And, you know, I want to tell you, my secret to drinking any alcohol is it's better in a children's cup. Fact. So, you know, you don't need to have
especially one that weebles and wobbles and doesn't fall down.
Exactly.
That was Weeble Wobbles for those of you that are millennials or Gen Z. So, just saying. We the old people now. Hi,
Sippy
Matt.
cups.
How you doing? What are you drinking?
Hi. I'm having some good old coffee in my new Star Wars mug.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, we just got back from the cruise. It was amazing.
Ooh,
Spend the money. That's all I'm going to say.
We're
That's
definitely
all
gonna
you're allowed to say, I'm pretty sure.
Fair.
What's that?
I think that's all you're allowed to say about it anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Lucas will hit you with a cease and desist.
If it was shit, I would tell you it was shit. But it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Mike, how you doing? What are you drinking?
I'm doing good. I'm drinking a Natty Light with the old-fashioned can this time. And I have surrounded me all the ingredients to make a wonderful cocktail later on that I'm excited to share with everybody.
Uh-oh.
So
that's oh dear. Okay.
I almost
Danger, Will Robinson. And let me guess, Harriet, what are you drinking? Water?
Yes, I am.
Hey, that's some high quality H2O right there.
Yes,
it's in my company approved bottle too. So
I love that she's doing the Vanna White as well. That's awesome.
Work plug.
And a quick hello to Robin who just joined us. Hello.
Yeah, and hi to everybody in the chat. Speaking of Gen X, I thought about like in the way to say hi to everyone in the chat. If y'all remember Romper Room, the magic mirror.
Romper, bumper, stopper, do.
Yeah, that would really confuse a lot of people, and it'd be creepy as fuck.
The only thing I remember Doobie the Bee,
I remember the swings and the.
Well, Leonardo
no, was Magic Garden? Was that it?
Was on
Magic
Romper
Mirror.
as a young child.
Yeah, Magic Mirror, Magic Garden.
Behaved very badly. Like he punched the bee or something like that.
Oh, why wouldn't you punch a big bee? But yeah, so we're gonna apologize in advance if we're off tonight because obviously, just like our intro, we're kind of buffering and putting two brain cells together because
Real quick, I wanted to share
so we're gonna
Allison's
apologize
watching.
in advance if we're off tonight because obviously, just like our intro. What the fuck just happened there?
Echo.
That was
Anyway,
me.
I
Sorry.
just wanted to share. Allison just joined us, and Allison, we do have a wonderful announcement for you later. But she complimented the Emmett Cup and said the kids are still up and on spring break. They're probably going to hear some new words tonight, so she's trying to keep them away from the show. So
parenting done right. Better that they hear it from us than at school, because they're hearing it from school.
Oh, they know more words than we do.
Yeah.
But don't worry,
They're coming
I'm
up all
not
sorts of creative
explain
shit.
in detail what an Alabama Hot Pocket is. I'll just refer to an Alabama Hot Pocket. And if anybody wants to know what an Alabama Hot Pocket is,
Google.
well,
oh no,
just reach out and we'll teach you what an Alabama Hot Pocket is.
Oh, Jesus.
This is not an Alabama Hot Pocket.
No.
Just gonna leave that right there. Tonight is Oscars night, as many of you may or may not know. Some of you may not give a shit. Some of you may be invested. Harriet is going to give us all the skinny on that in a minute. But first, more importantly, what are you guys watching this week? You watching anything good? Let's just go ahead and just chime in if you're watching something.
Still watching The Last of Us. It wraps up tonight, I believe. So as soon as the show's over, I already know how it's going to end. I think most people who played the game probably do. I don't see them really deviating. Last week's episode was good. That was the high. That was the scariest part of the show. That episode, or that part of the game was anyway. I'll say this. I think this is the one time the game actually was better than the show. They did a couple things differently in the way they introduced the character who went on to be really weird. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but who was the main special guest star? I'll call him that guy. And they gave him a longer introduction, and so it was better in the game than it was the show.
Right.
Other than that, there you go. That's what I'm doing. Oh, I'll take that back. One other thing. The demo for the new Resident Evil 4, the updated version, the remake, came out this weekend. And I did put that, I did play a round of the demo. For the record, we now stream on Twitch. I did try to play it on Twitch. That did not go very successful. Not that the streaming quality wasn't good, but I'm a really shitty player. And this is called the chainsaw demo because it ends with, a chainsaw wielding dude. I didn't make it to that. I got killed by a guy with an axe who was infected and, bugs spraying out of his head. It was bad. I'm not going to lie, but for the record, if you ever want to watch me squeal like a little girl, jump scares don't really get me in movies, but on games,
on
games totally different because you're immersed in it. It's like you're the person type deal.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to set up the VR and start playing some of these horror games for you guys.
So look up Original Spooky Guide on Twitch. If you want to watch these guys play video games and stuff, and make fun of them and stuff while they do it. Cool.
Yeah. And I figured out that I can use my regular webcam with my Xbox. It just plugs straight in, and boom, there I go. So all I got to do is get that information, and then I'll just have the thing sit in front of me while I'm flying from Florida to Los Angeles, and it says, "Who knows?"
Nice. Appropriate and correct. Awesome. As far as there was a movie I watched this week that I was actually super impressed with, to be honest. M. Night Shyamalan, Knock at the Cabin. I mean, I don't know if there's been any buzz about it at all. Dave Bautista, who is probably the best actor to come out of wrestling, because let's face it, The Rock is pretty much The Rock. That's it. But Dave Bautista, outstanding performance that you would not expect to see from him. He's much more than Drax as Guardians of the Galaxy. I know M. Night Shyamalan in the past, decade or so, has kind of been hit or miss with his movies. Because it's M. Night Shyamalan, I don't want to give anything away. It's definitely worth the watch. What?
There's a twist.
Is there?
I don't know. It's M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist!
Maybe.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah,
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Maybe
That's right.
not. But no, absolutely, like fantastic, and keeps you on the edge of your seat. And M. Night Shyamalan definitely knows how to. I mean, if you remember Signs, he definitely knows how to keep you tense, on the edge of your seat, not knowing that's he's really good at that. That slow burn, and that's what this movie is. And the more I watched it, and the more I sat with it, the more I actually liked it. Because it is a movie that actually like spurns a discussion afterwards, and those are always good. If it's something that sticks with you afterward, then the movie's done its job. So that's my contribution. Knock at the Cabin, I absolutely recommend it. So you guys watching anything else?
We actually almost watched that today.
I'll be curious as to your thoughts.
We'll get
In
to it.
addition to all the Oscar stuff, as much as I can, I watched. I've been watching The Last of Us. I've been watching Castle Rock, the series. It was, it's all the Castle Rock characters and stuff from Stephen King books. It's really good. It's on Hulu. I'm like almost done with
Only
the
2
first
seasons.
season. Yeah, it's
It got canceled.
it's really good. I'm kind of bummed that there was only 2 seasons, but I'm glad that I'm watching it. And I watched something on Shudder. It was called Gretel and Hansel.
I heard about that. I heard it was so bad that it was good.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of got. I wish there was more meat to it. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as I wanted it to be. Alice Krige is in it. If you remember her from Sleepwalker, she was also the Borg Queen, but she plays a witch, and it's the traditional Hansel and Gretel story. So, but it's kind of like an artsy in the forest witch thing. So it's not great, but if you're looking for something just to watch, yeah.
Something to keep in the background while you're
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't she also in Carnival Row as a Fey witch? You watch
I
Carnival
haven't-
Row at all?
I haven't seen Carnival Row. I think that's on my queue. I think I put it on there because it was something new that I saw, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's cool. I like it. Season 2 just pretty much started, so I've caught a couple episodes of that. What else? I mean, I've been super busy this week, so playing Star Wars nerd. So I haven't really watched much other than The Mandalorian season 2 has been awesome so far.
Yeah, we were watching that too. We watched Elvis today, and I watched Blonde a couple days ago. It was the lead actress. She's nominated for an Academy Award, and I watched Elvis today because I wanted to wait because it's like 2.5 hours long. A lot of these
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, they're super long, and it's like I got to set aside just a day to just watch it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That
'cause me
actually
and
Did
my
reminds
watch
wife-
Wakanda Forever. It was
That was boring as hell. That was
Yeah, I thought there
boring.
was. We said everything
Super
we needed
long.
to say with that personally.
Well, it was just boring. It's just I'm sorry. It was a boring movie. No disrespect to anyone who died or the people who were affected by the movie. You know what? It was a boring ass movie. That's just the end of the boring.
It was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
It was super long.
I hate
It's
to
like,
complain
ugh.
about long movies because it makes me feel like a kid who can't sit through 30 minutes of a cartoon. But that was a long ass boring movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're gonna make something long, you at least got to make it, interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Harriet caught that. But I also saw Michelle Yeoh one. Everything was it everything all at
Everything
once.
to do about
Everything, everywhere, all at
yeah.
once.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Scott Pilgrim, you'll like it.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Scott Pilgrim. I was just
I
like,
love that movie.
No, yeah, that movie, I love the style of it.
it's very much in that style,
Okay.
and Michelle Yeoh did an amazing job. James Hong, who, God, absolutely love him, a national treasure. It was all right, but I mean, Oscar worthy. I get it, but. The other thing I watched is I finished the second part of season 4 of You. For those of you who like that creepy stalker stuff.
Oh, we haven't started that one yet.
Okay, there's not going to be any spoilers.
Because
I think-
I'm really interested in this season.
Yeah, no, Penn
All I've
Badgley
heard is
is
the
fucking
final
fantastic.
episode is like, ooh,
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
that's what I've heard.
It's like a surprise finger up the ass, folks.
If you like Penn Badgley, if you've liked the series, you may not enjoy the first part of season 4, but the second
part
really makes up for it. And because I want to talk about it so much, but I also don't want to give spoilers. And you can't really talk about it without giving the spoilers. So.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy the series, you'll like part 2 of season 4. So definitely thumbs up for that.
Good.
All right, I want to jump around just a little bit because I know we want to be sensitive to Harriet's schedule because she's an Oscar person.
Yeah, she's
So
busy.
she's got things to do and places to be. But before we go any further, I wanted to, I'll let other people carry the conversation. But Spooky Family lost a big piece of Spooky Family this past week.
That's where I was. Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to just take that because we need to pay tribute to.
Say me or Harriet.
Either one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll discuss it. Yeah, we lost Angelica Torres. She was a longtime spooky goer for many years. A lot of us were very good friends with her, or at least met her in passing. But she lost her fight with cancer on Wednesday night.
Fuck cancer, man.
Yeah, fuck cancer. But it was kind of devastating, and I kind of thought that she was gonna, be able to,
We all thought she was going to beat it. Yeah.
yeah, or not necessarily beat it, but at least get her treatment going for a little bit longer. She wasn't doing very well during Christmas, and it got to the point where we hadn't heard from her, hadn't seen any posts from her, and we are all just kind of like, what's going on, and that day is when we found out she had passed. Yeah, so many condolences and sympathies to her family, and yep, and all the rest of the spooky family. Her services are tomorrow. I'm driving down tomorrow. But for anybody who knew Angelica or met her, she was always there with a smile and a drink in her hand.
Exactly. She was always happy. Always.
Yeah. And
I don't think I ever saw anything but like a big permagrin on her face.
Oh god, no, her smile was huge. Like she just had a smile anytime you saw her, and she was always so much fun.
I mean, and we say that because normally, like when someone passes away, it's a cliche. Oh, there's but no, legitimately, I've known Angelica for 15 years, and never, always had a smile on her face.
Yeah, and she
was old school spooky. She's been around.
One of the original OGs, absolutely.
Before 2010, I know that much.
Yeah, and it just seemed like every time when I first got there, she had already been there for hours, and she was telling me who was at the bar, and she had a drink. And I was like, "You live in
gossip column."
Yeah, I was like, she had already been there, and she was giving me the lowdown on what was going on and who was already here. And I was like, "Girl, you live in South Florida. How are you here?" I live in Orlando, and I had to get off work, and I have to go to the grocery store, and it takes me, several hours just to get to the hotel, which is 30 or 45 minutes away from me. Mm-hmm. So, she was always one of the first few people that I looked for and that I saw and, hung out with. It's like, what are you buying? Who are you talking to? What autographs are you getting? So,
yeah, she definitely always had her finger on the pulse of everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to leave a big hole in my spooky experience, and I'm sure others as well.
It's going to leave a hole for a lot of us because
So
it's funny. There are people who go to spooky, and there are people who go to spooky. And trust me, she squeezed every second of fun you could get out of those shows.
Yeah.
She always had a story. Always.
Oh, hell yeah.
She lived it.
She lived it. She definitely lived it. And that's the best way to put it. She absolutely lived it.
We should all be so lucky to enjoy the convention as much as she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth, man?
That's for sure.
And we're right there with you, Brendan. Absolutely. Angelica, we fucking love you. We are going to miss you something fierce. Like I said, and like I made a post and I just said, say hi to Uncle Bill for us. And Riku, unfortunately, who, is a legend and just passed recently as well. So the two of them will be hanging out, thankfully. So they'll be taking care of each other. So that's a little bit of a condolence. Not much, but but yeah.
We'll chat a little bit more about Riku in a few minutes. Harriet, any Oscar thoughts for the evening? I mean, was there anything that you think people should go out of their way to watch this year? Or, I know horror wasn't really well represented for the most part.
I'm going to go on about
It
that.
never is.
No, and I one of the movies I really wanted to see was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I didn't get to see it, but one of the things that I thought was interesting is Jamie Lee Curtis is up for an Oscar, and so forever now, when we watch Halloween, that will be included. It's like starring,
Oscar winner.
Academy Award nominated. I mean, we'll find out if she wins tonight. Jamie Lee Curtis, because nobody else affiliated with Halloween, and not that I'm aware of, unless it's like makeup or special effects. But yeah, we had discussed earlier, like on the group chat, that Oscar or horror doesn't really get nominated. And I looked it up, and there are some movies that were nominated, like they were big ones: Exorcist, Jaws, M. Night Shyamalan, The Sixth Sense, Black Swan, and Get Out.
But it's like, how long has it been?
It's been a long time.
Get Out.
The last movie to fully sweep the Oscars was Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
They got best film, best director, best actor, best actress, best screenplay. It was the last film to fully sweep the Oscars, and that's a rare thing. I think there's like 3 or 4 other movies that have done that in the entire 95-year history of the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So,
fun fact: the first
Lord of the
one
Rings.
happened one night with Clark Gable.
oh, there you go.
And the woman who played Cleopatra, who I can't remember now.
Elizabeth Taylor.
No, not her. The
one
good
before her.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm really rooting for Brendan Fraser and The Whale. I watched Elvis today, and I've been hearing some rumblings that Austin Butler has like a slight advantage over him. And I really hope
let's take him out. Let's just take him out.
Yeah, I really hope that's not true, because I think Brendan Fraser, usually when the Academy votes, they'll vote not necessarily for that particular performance, but for sometimes body of work.
But you know what? Austin did his own singing. The Academy
so did Val Kilmer
all over that. Like, the reason Natalie Portman won her Oscar for Black Swan is they said she did her own dancing. She in fact did not. But that was kind of the direction they led everyone to believe. Turned out she did some of it, but there was a stunt double that did, I think, more of the complicated things. But whenever somebody does stuff like that, Oscar,
we all know Brendan deserves it.
Which makes it all the more boggling that Val Kilmer got robbed for his portrayal of Jim Morrison.
Exactly.
Well, he also got. I looked that up too, and two of my favorite disses are Val Kilmer for Tombstone and Kevin Bacon from Murder in the First.
Oh my God, hell yes!
If you haven't seen it, go out and watch it, because he's unrecognizable in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a great actor to begin with.
It's like Donnie Wahlberg in Sixth Sense. You have no idea until afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays this inmate, and he's just in terrible shape. He's been beaten. He's been And when I watched it, I thought, "Oh my God, what happened to poor Kevin Bacon?" And it was acting. It was him acting. So, those are two of my favorites when I talk about Oscar disses. Those two come up all the time.
Yeah, I wish they would give more attention. I mean, for example, Mia Goth. I mean, just lately, her and Jenna Ortega have like blown up, and maybe not Jenna Ortega so much, but Mia Goth in like Pearl and X. Regardless what you think about the movies, she was outstanding, and she definitely deserves some recognition for that. On top of that, some of the practical effects that are still used in horror, we talked about Guillermo del Toro. I mean, and what was the Wendigo that he created in Antlers?
Antlers,
or is it Antlers? Yeah,
whatever.
Just in the past year or so, it's like these practical effects. The fact that they're still being used, this needs to be recognized by things like the Oscars. And stop being snubbed. This is like horror is known for just like these great practical effects. And for Christ's sake, Toni Collette in Hereditary, how the fuck did she not get just sweep the Oscars for her performance in Hereditary? Holy shit, it's chilling.
Well, for some reason, horror has always been, kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Hollywood form, or the Academy, not the Hollywood form.
Not the comedies.
Yeah. But it's becoming more known, because animated is becoming more known, and people who have that talent, like Jordan Peele and Mike Flanagan and stuff like that, they are making Hollywood horror movies.
Yes.
Now, a lot of it's coming to TV first. I mean, like The Haunting of Hill House and stuff like that. But it's quality.
Oh, that's another one that should have been nominated across the board.
Yeah, it's quality, watchable stuff.
Yeah.
So it's slowly getting there, but with the proliferation of being cheap and kind of a throwaway genre, horror's never really gotten a lot of attention. I do see that it's changing somewhat because a lot of the every year they have a certain number that they nominate for Best Picture, and they broadened that out. It's now 10 movies. I think it used to be 5, and now it's 10. And one of the movies that nominated this year is Top Gun for Best Film.
You know why? Because
like,
Tom
okay.
Cruise and Scientology, that's why.
I'm like, okay, but also Avatar is nominated. And then
Because James Cameron and
right, but and Wakanda Forever was nominated, and Angela Bassett was nominated for Wakanda Forever. So those movies are slowly becoming more recognized
sure.
with the talent, with the money that's available, because they have to know that the audience is out there and they're watching these movies.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. There's just, I mean, we can sit here and talk about 9 movies that should have been nominated for Oscars and weren't. Yeah, but yeah. Speaking of actors, we do have some new news as far as Spooky. They've announced a few more guests. I'm hearing like some background echo. What is that? Or is it just the voices in my head?
Yes.
No, I'm hearing it too.
It's not me because my mic's been muted.
That might be me. Hold on.
Oh, it could have been the voices in my head. Sometimes, they speak Bulgarian. I don't know if I know.
No, I heard.
Well, so let's chat spooky guests because we're getting feedback. I think it was Matt.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Anyway, so we do have some new guest announcements. Go down the list, and if you have thoughts, please share them.
Yeah.
First, we have making a return visit. Lou, your body is a temple.
Is that what we're calling him?
That's what I'm calling him.
Okay.
Lou, my mustache is a temple.
Got an epic mustache, though.
He did. And Devil's Rejects, great mustache. Anyway,
absolutely.
Lou, you probably know him best. He's a Rob Zombie regular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if Rob uses you for one movie, he'll use you for all the movies.
For 8 movies, yeah.
But yeah, he was first in the Devil's Rejects. He was in a couple others that Rob did as well. He did season 3 in The Walking Dead, and he was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. So,
Oh yeah.
I saw it, so.
anyone have a story or anyone?
Yeah, well, Lou is one of those guests that you will definitely see out by the pool with everybody else. Super nice guy, incredibly down to earth, very, very friendly. So if you're a Rob Zombie fan, I mean, this guy will regale you with stories of, what it was like to work with so-and-so on the set and everything. When he was here last, I did see him hanging out, at night with everybody at the pool. So that's always something to look forward to. If you get stuff a good story with, Lou Temple, getting drunk by the pool. So.
Not that we're saying Lou gets drunk at the pool.
No, I'm saying you getting drunk at the pool with
Lou. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you might be drunk. You won't remember, but that's okay.
Anything's possible. All right.
We've got you covered later for that, folks. In addition, with Lou Temple, we have Lynn Shay. Lynn's, I think, maybe the biggest name they've announced so far. And she's one of those people who's kind of been in everything. A lot of horror. So this is a really nice get for Lynn, or for Spooky. She was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think she's been in most of the Insidious movies, if not all.
Yeah, I remember for Insidious more than anything else. Yeah.
Yep.
And she was she's one of the Farrelly brothers regulars. So she was in all of those movies they were cranking out. Something About Mary, Kingpin. Real uncomfortable moments in both of those movies. Start doing tongue push-ups.
Wasn't she?
Oh, that movie's so great.
It is
Detroit Rock City too.
Which one?
Wasn't she in Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, she was. She was the drummer kid's mom, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. I know she was.
Well,
she's the sister of Bob Shay, who basically is New Line Cinema. So any New Line movie, I guarantee every movie that she's in is pretty much New Line.
Yeah.
So
she's got some stories.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they do a panel
Absolutely.
with her, because we could come up with some interesting questions. That's for damn sure.
Mhm.
Was this stuff improv, or yeah.
Fairly Brothers, more than likely, yes.
Exactly.
Most of the time, they're just like, do something,
Yeah.
make us laugh.
That's hilarious.
You
All right,
Make it
Rob, who else we
uncomfortable.
got?
Then we've got Samantha Scafidi from Terrifier 2. Not
I have a
whole
feeling a lot more of
than
that
to be
cast is
perfectly
going to
honest.
show up for that.
I hope so, because right now. But yeah,
also, in Kingpin, Lynn was the older woman that Woody Harrelson's landlord.
Yeah, the
who
landlady that was
basically,
trying to, get with him. Little,
And
I
pay
won't
his
say
rent.
what she made him do to pay rent, but it's much like dining in a Chinese restaurant. He ate cat. Okay.
Korean barbecue.
That was a stretch.
Yeah. I think that one
And the
goes.
last guest that we have.
That went over like a wet part.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just kind of left a stain
Or-
there. Yeah.
Or yodeling pickle.
Yeah, where is that
I
yodeling
forgot
pickle
gone.
anyway?
I'd love to bring the pickle back. I cannot find a pickle.
I wonder where it could be.
It's up
I
my
think
ass.
Jay is hiding it from you forever.
Oh, la 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 la.
Right.
Our
Don't need it.
last guest who was
TMI.
just announced over the weekend is Hurricane Ryu, who is a kaiju suit actor in
Mhm.
Japan. He has been in. He was in a lot of the '90s Godzilla movies.
Wasn't
but
he
not
in the one that he fought the giant squid?
Well, maybe he played Baby Godzilla. He played Godzilla Jr.
I
And
love
he
Baby
was in a
Godzilla.
movie called The Calamari Wrestler,
You
where
gotta
he
show
was
it.
a wrestler that wore a giant squid costume.
You gotta show it.
Talk amongst
man's
yourselves. I'm
my
going to pull it
hero.
up and I'll share.
Yeah, no.
That is my hero.
This is worth the screen share. So, and actually, while he does that, I just want to show off my shirt because it's awesome.
Yeah, so apparently
New
Joey
Florida
Fatone
black
on
metal.
Friday-
Yeah,
Joey Fatone on Friday was with Steel Panther again.
I saw. I was not happy.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't know that they were going to be in town, and I was.
Well, I knew
very
they were
upset.
going to be in town, but I thought it was next week because I didn't get tickets. So
I
I
am
was like,
so
you know what? I'm
happy.
like, I get paid on Wednesday. I'm like, I'll surprise Sabrina with tickets. I'm like, if I can like scalp some now, and we'll go really quick.
All right.
And-
Well, next one we're going together. That's it. Because
Well, they were at Tampa last night, so we have to wait. till
Joni
next-
Jett here this weekend in Ocoee.
I know.
Oh, she's
Harriet, are you
on
doing
my
the
list.
Jet?
No, it was Friday night, and I think it was a free show. It was Joan,
Yeah,
I'm
with
sure it
Night
was fucking
Ranger,
packed.
and I
Night
would've
Ranger,
loved that.
Joan Jett, and I knew about the Steel Panther, but I've got 3 shows coming up in the next 2 months, and I'm going to go back and forth to Atlanta 3 times. So
I was going to say.
That's glorious.
Do a search on The Calamari Wrestler, and I mean, the list of images you find are going to be bizarre.
This is amazing. Okay, someone needs
Great
to.
costume.
Boris, I
I-
see you watching. Boris, you need to do
I'm
this
gonna-
costume.
Yes.
Boris, we will pay for the materials. You need to do that costume.
That is perfect.
Really
All I
good.
think about is like the costume is actually really, really good and detailed in that, and I just think about like a Japanese version of the Rocky theme like playing type deal.
Well,
Like
that should be a scene in Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
yes,
scene.
yes.
That's the next guy you fight.
Boris, I'm telling you, we will pay for the
Training with
materials, man. That's amazing.
Come on, Squiddy. Come on, Squiddy. You can do it. Fight like a squid. Fight like a squid.
Blind him with
Ink
your
him.
head.
Ink him.
There's a game that we need to stream on Twitch, right?
Fun fact: if you played Punch Out, the Wii version of it that they released, the final secret boss is Donkey Kong. So it's not a squid; but it's still not bad. You still get to fight a giant monkey.
Well, speaking of, why is
A
this
giant monkey isn't
Kong?
nearly as interesting as
Like-
a giant squid, though.
What was that,
Why
Mike?
is it Donkey Kong? Like you just imagine like a donkey playing like in a Congo line or something like that. Like yeah. Anyway, that's just
Donkey
my
in a
rant.
Congo line. Okay.
There was
Because
a poorly translated Japanese name.
it had to have been because like
It's
we're like
no, it's well. I'm not going to bore everyone with the answer. I do know it.
Of course. Rob
of
knows
course
it.
you know it.
I do know the answer to this, and it was actually a pretty like deceptive trick that Nintendo played to avoid having to pay royalties to King Kong. And
Oh,
they
okay.
pretended that they didn't understand. Without going into the whole detail, it was they said, "Oh, they wanted it to mean stubborn monkey," and so they translated it into Donkey Kong. That's what they said in court. That's not true. That was a lie.
So like the episode
Or
of South
Japanese translation.
Park.
They used it to their advantage.
Yeah, they made everyone believe that, but no, it was literally just they wanted to call they wanted to get something like King Kong that people would notice it.
It's like
They came
that
up with
store up
something.
on 50 over here. It's a Japanese store. It's called Golden Shower. That's not right.
Oh my god.
There was no showers in there. Like
No,
no
none.
shower.
And definitely no gold.
No.
Now this is a fun conversation.
Allison, I apologize if your children are around.
Hey, they got to learn this from somebody. This
Hey,
might
we
win
did
them a
not
bet someday.
say any bad words, okay?
No, we did.
I worked on that disclaimer long and hard. Just for this reason.
Yeah. But yeah, but for those of you that are fans of kaiju, yeah, we've actually got, two of the actors this year. So, I mean, that'll be interesting because they always seem so appreciative.
Oh, they are. They're
Yeah.
always super nice.
Yeah, they've always like super awesome. And hopefully they'll have their own particular, like Ultraman pauses or
Mhm.
poses or whatever that they
Well,
always
they
do.
do. They do.
Well, yeah, and the great thing is a lot of them, even though they're older, like they're still in really good shape. Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
you actually like see them and all, like they're still, like, I mean, they're not like crazy bodybuilder buff or anything like that, but they are still in really good shape, very like flexible and all that. Like,
Well, because they lived to they're like 2000,
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you 35? No, I'm 350. I'm just,
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I mean, just look at James Hong, I mean, my God, that guy, he's in his 90s. I mean, the last time he was at Spooky, it's like he was dressed
Yeah,
Out
right.
there dancing and going crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And he was dancing with like some of the fans. It's like literally waltzing around, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can only hope. Like even when I'm 60, let alone 90 something, to be able to do that.
Yeah, we were
So,
eating
you're
breakfast
right.
at the
You're
hotel
right.
and he came down.
Wait, what, Mike?
We were eating breakfast at the hotel because we were at that the one in Tampa. I forgot what hotel that was, but we were down there eating breakfast, and he came in. He sat literally at the table next to us, just brought his paper, got his breakfast, and was just looking at the paper. He's like, "Do you want the paper?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." He's like, "Okay," and just reading the paper, eating his breakfast, and all that. Super
That's
nice
so
guy.
cool.
Yeah,
I hope they got to bring him back, man. I love James Hong. man.
they have to. He is sweet. He's sweet.
He's an amazing that again national treasure. So
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's not like there isn't room on this guest list.
Right.
I'm sorry. And I know I'm just saying what a lot of people are thinking. Spooky has their reasons, whatever, but for some reason, the guest list seems a tad underwhelming. I mean,
All right.
last year we
quick,
had Tom Sizemore.
I wanted to real quick share Allison's comment. Just for the record, this is why we love all of our spooky people. This is in regards to her children who I wanted to tell them there's a big spider if they come into the family room.
Yes.
It's pretty
That's
awesome.
amazing. Wait,
Bye,
can
guys.
we like
heading
pin
up.
comments?
Bye,
Harriet.
Harriet.
Bye, Harriet.
Have fun.
This is actually a really good moment to kill two birds with one stone.
But no, I'm curious. Can we like pin comments from the chat?
I can.
Oh, all right. Well, then you know what? Y'all need to come up with some damn good comments so they can be featured on the webcast here. It's another reason to get y'all involved.
But what I was going to say is, we lost actual spooky fan with Angelica, but we did lose some guests this past or the last 2 weeks as well. So the first, when we briefly mentioned Riku Browning, Riku was the creature from the Black Lagoon. He was the last Universal monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's officially, that book is now closed.
Yeah, that's
It's unfortunate.
it's tragic. It's very
Yeah,
tragic.
no, really. Well, it's not tragic.
piece
The
of
guy
hit-
was 90-something years old.
Well, I
That's
know, but
right.
I'm just saying because future generations really aren't going to know like the great beginning of horror with the Universal monsters.
In addition to
history.
that, he directed the big underwater fight scene in Thunderball. That was the fourth Sean Connery Bond movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
Mike's our local Riku, like just complete expert over here. So
The movie was filmed about 35 minutes from where we are at Silver Springs at the state park there, and for years we always had a really big Ford show up there in January that would have about 2,000 cars that we packed into the entire park, and this was still when it was privately owned, right before it went to state owned, so it still had animals and all that. So we had like the giraffes and bears and all that. But one of the best things was the glass bottom boat rides. They were always free, and that because it was like the price of the admission. Now you actually pay for the glass bottom boats. But one of the captains, oh, crap, I forgot his name. I think it was like Captain Dan or something like that. But he was I believe he's still alive. He's almost in his 90s and that, but he worked there. He was working there for like the past like 65, 70 years and that, and he's been a glass bottom boat captain the whole entire time. And he was there while they were filming that movie.
wow.
And that. And so like when you go over with the glass bottom boats, like right at the beginning where the dock is and that's where all underneath is still has the underwater statues and that from the James Bond movie that was filmed there. I forgot, it was the Roger Moore one. I forgot which one it was, but
for your eyes only.
yes, yeah,
It's because they were supposedly in Greece.
yeah, but they were actually in
the Greek islands. So
yep, there's all the Greek statues and all that, and like the Colosseum like posts and all that throughout there. And there's still some stuff left from the creature of the Black Lagoon. But yeah, he would tell you stories about everything about filming with him, how he was a really nice guy, and he would go and have lunch with the entire staff during the breaks of filming and that. And yeah, he's like really big up here and that.
Well, if y'all want something to do during spring break, I mean, obviously go check out Silver Springs.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful park. The water.
And do it before like it gets too hot and too crazy to do it.
Well, but the good thing is that entire park is like completely covered with trees. It's a very shady park, and that so you're not in direct sunlight at all that much.
Shady as in no sun.
Yeah.
Not shady as in don't go. Like a rest stop at night. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you just have to watch out for the herpes monkeys.
That's important.
And I'm not joking.
No. We're waiting for elaboration here.
The monkeys were from one of the Tarzan movies that was filmed there. There was a couple of them that escaped, and they actually started breeding and that. So there are a lot of monkeys at this park, but they also have herpes. And there are signs all over saying, do not get close to the monkeys, do not feed them. These monkeys are infected with herpes, and they will give you herpes. So yeah, there's actual signs.
It's a good practice to stay away from monkeys just overall. Just stay away from monkeys.
But if you tell somebody you got herpes from a monkey, let me tell you, that's the end of the conversation. You're not going to be able to elaborate.
Yeah.
I saw that documentary. Dustin Hoffman and
Outbreak. Okay, good call. So in addition to losing Rico, we lost a more recent guest, Tom Sizemore, who I will still say one of the top 3 panels Spooky has ever had.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was incredible.
I was hoping that because I know a lot of times they film the Q&As to post later. I hope they start a YouTube channel and post some of these past Q&As because, I mean, if anyone got Tom Sizemore's Q&A, oh my God. That's just gold monkeys. Gold monkeys. Kiss the monkeys. See, I got this right. I think gold, complete gold, but monkeys, yes. Don't kiss the monkeys.
It's good advice, kids.
Yes, very good advice.
And so again, Tom was awesome as a guest. He apparently had a great time and wanted to come back. I would have loved to have had him come back. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We talk about, Charlie Sheen talked about, Tiger Blood. Tom
No,
Sizemore had Tiger Blood.
Charlie was a poser. No, Tom Sizemore was the real Tiger Blood, the originator.
And so it's a shame that he's gone. However, every cloud has a silver lining, and Tom was our first points in our celebrity death pool. And Allison, I know you feel bad. She feels bad.
What? Tom would be okay with it.
Tom would be very okay with it. First of all, Tom lived 3 lifetimes in his life, okay?
Yes.
Tom,
We're talking about a man who lived.
He squeezed everything he could get out of that. So Allison got 39 points for him.
She's going to be the one to beat now, man.
I was going to say, that was a big score. That was a big score.
She got 3 bonus points because he was a spooky guest. So She's already up. Congratulations, Allison. 42 points.
Wow. Yeah.
Well done.
We're giving you the clap.
That's
not the herpes, but the clap. But I was trying to think.
The clap is syphilis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh shit.
Rita herpetitis.
Yes. But Vern Troyer was like my big pick one year, and I think everybody has one. I know, like Rob got Ralphie May one year as well.
Oh yeah,
that was a big one.
That was a big one too. Pun intended.
Hey, what you said you did there, huh?
Yeah, that's I'm just waiting on Bam because it's gonna happen. Telling you, it's gonna happen.
It's not looking good for him.
It's not looking good for him. When Steve-O is giving you life advice.
Well, no, but the thing is, though, remember how I was saying how he was on tour with Steve-O and Steve-O was trying to keep him. Yeah, no, he's no longer on tour with Steve-O because after like the 4th night, he like went AWOL and that, and Steve-O like did a very public post saying, "I'm done. Like I tried to help you. I was trying to make it so you could see your kids and all that, but they won't even help. You don't even want to do it to see them."
Yeah,
Bye.
when Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O are like, dude, you're just no. When they're kicking you out,
it kind of reminds me of. Does everyone remember when? And I can't remember what the name of the show is, but like In Excess did that reality TV show to find their new lead singer after Michael Hutchins passed.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like Making the Band or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they did a reality show, and they found a new guy who sounded exactly like him, which was the creamy. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He was good, and they put out that
did
one
the same
big
thing,
single, Pretty Vegas or something like that.
Yeah.
Great song.
Mm-hmm.
And about a year later, they fired him because the guy just became a complete cokehead. And they just said, you know what? We can't. You're out of control. They left him in the Philippines, or they left him somewhere like Malaysia, somewhere in Southeast Asia, and they just went home and they said, you know what? The band's done. So
yeah.
I was just reading right before we started this. I was reading an article about Corey Feldman, and he did the same thing with Corey Haim.
Mm-hmm.
When they had the 2 Corey show, and he was the reality show, and then he just cut him off completely.
For a reason, yeah.
I know, completely cut him off right before he died, pretty much, because he saw what was happening. He's like, I can't watch my friend kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's to Corey Feldman, because the man has
Corey Feldman, lighting up shoes and his Michael Jackson outfits.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he's happy doing what he's doing, so you know what? Good for him.
do we want to talk any more horror and Oscars?
No, we need to.
You know what? I mean, I think it's probably just a good topic. The last horror movie you saw that you think might have been Oscar worthy?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that'll be a quick one.
Well, I was just saying, because Hereditary just comes to mind for me. I mean, that was a fucking masterpiece.
Let's do this. A movie either you thought was Oscar, most recent one, or just a movie you think they got completely robbed, like should have been.
Exactly, or should have been award worthy and got robbed. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
the Ritual, all the way.
The who?
I don't think the Ritual.
Oh, The Ritual. Yes.
That one is
Anthony
still
Hopkins.
huh?
Is that Anthony Hopkins?
Not that one. No. I know
Yeah,
what you're
well,
thinking of. There's a newer one.
Yeah,
it's
this
it's
one's
more of
from,
a
like,
folk horror
17,
Wendigo sort of
like
thing.
16 or 17. Yeah, and it's the monster is I think one of the best original monsters that I've seen in a horror movie in a long, long time. The effects
Absolutely.
were amazing. Great story to it. Very suspenseful. It wasn't all like jump scares or anything like that. It was one of those psychological ones, and it was. That's one of my top 3 like newer horror movies. Like it is wonderful.
It is a good
I
movie.
absolutely love it, and it didn't really like. I don't know how far because I don't keep up with like if it got any like attention or this or that. But not many people talk about it. Like I asked people like, "Hey, have you seen this one?" You're like, "No," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like
I think that's one
you
of the
need
movies
to
that
see it.
actually kicked up the whole folk horror
Yes.
resurgence that we're seeing now. You know, I'm still waiting for Minotaurs personally, but I know we're
Oh,
getting
yeah,
Wendigos fine. I want Minotaurs. So
Yeah, and those Wendigos were that one in the movie is huge. Like it's
Yeah.
not like it starts as like a person size, and next thing you know, it's like the size of a house. Like it's crazy. It is absolutely
no,
crazy.
and it is. It's fantastic, and it's like we said. You know, I mean, we talk about Rick Baker and Tom Savini, but it's like these artists that create these monsters that deserve some recognition because that's not CGI. That's some wild ass.
Yeah, well, I think the big one, like when you see it in the distance when it's coming in, that was CGI. But when it comes down and leans towards them and all that in one
Oh
part,
yeah, that would
like it's full physical, like it's full like and it's beautiful.
completely
It
practical.
is so beautiful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I
can't
think
think
The
of
Ritual
any-
is definitely on a list that everyone needs to see. What, Matt?
I can't think of any movies, but the horror television series, like when Hannibal was out, that was an amazing show. Absolutely
That's
amazing.
true.
Mads Mikkelsen was phenomenal as Hannibal Lecter.
That's
I'm
true.
not sure if he won any awards for that, but I think horror does better in TV format just because you can tell the longer story and not just throw everything out in 2 hours.
That's true.
So I think that's why they don't get a whole lot,
Okay.
because it's hard to. I mean, because the chapter 1 I thought was phenomenal. It was great. Chapter 2, not so much. But I don't think that was up for anything. You know, Bill Skarsgård did a phenomenal job as Pennywise. You know, can't beat that.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, and he had pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, fucking Tim Curry.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you
I
follow
still
up
haven't
Tim
seen it.
fucking Curry? You know.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the new It because it's one of those. It's not that I don't want to see it. It's I have such fond memories of the original one and again with it kind of being a mini series, you know, like it wasn't like it's almost 4 hours long, well, 3.5, 4 hours long. Like I don't know if I can replace how well I think Curry did with that.
I know it's difficult, but I've learned, especially with remakes, the only way to do that is to separate the two and see it as its own story as opposed to, you know, a build on the original. I mean, I had to do that with Interview with the Vampire, and that's the only way I could actually like really get into it. It's like once I realized, oh, okay, if I can see this as a completely separate universe, then its predecessor, you know, and I know it takes a while to do that. So, but I mean, that's the only way I think I can see remakes these days. Because if I go comparing shit to the original, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what about you?
It's not a recent movie by any means. It's about 7 or 8 years old. But it was one of those movies that meant like such an impression. I just thought it was a small movie and perfectly executed. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh, beautiful,
fucking
wonderful
outstanding.
movie. Wonderful movie.
I mean, it's like that's one of those movies that's like maybe you can't call it a best picture, but god damn, it's near flawless.
Mm-hmm.
It's small cast, small room.
Yeah.
And they managed to just build up the tension in that to just
it's
another
creepy
level.
as hell. It is. It really does. Like to me, that movie got to me. Like I was like, wow, this
that literally got under your skin.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
hey, that's actually one I've seen.
What are the odds?
Yeah, Robin just said they both have their merits, but Tim Curry wins. Yeah, Tim Curry always wins, but again, it's just a matter of like comparing the two. You're always going to come up short in one way or the other, you know.
Yeah,
they were regulated to television.
Yeah,
which
that is
doesn't
true.
make the performance get better. Now,
That's
had they
true.
done a film, Tim Curry would have destroyed it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all that. But there's only so much you can do on TV, at least especially back then.
Oh, especially
Yeah.
in the 70s? God, yeah.
Yeah.
70s, 80s.
80s.
Was it 80s?
Yeah. I think it was the
Late
80s. Yeah, it was John Ritter, and
Yeah.
so it's
yeah.
80s for sure.
John Ritter and Harry Anderson. What more?
Harry
is that?
Anderson. Yep.
So it's like
Yeah.
great cast. Great cast.
Bunch of
All right.
nerds
Well,
on
we'll
the
go
show.
with good movies. So you want to talk
Yeah,
alcohol?
Yes, I want to.
y'all are the mixologists. I'm kind of retired from that. I enjoy just lightweight shit these days.
Yeah. So real quick, before we share drink recipes for all of our fine viewers out there in internet land, I want to really just drive home how qualified this group of people is to talk about alcohol. We have a current bartender, we have a former bartender, and we have a resident of Citrus County.
Woo!
That's pure alcohol experience, folks.
Oh yeah.
I know a thing or two myself. So
well, no, and then we also have the former owner of SadSpirits.com.
yeah, I used to.
You
run a
need to
website
tell the story
called
about Sad Spirits.
Yeah, I ran a website. It was my baby for a while, called SadSpirits.com, where I would review and write reviews for bad alcohol, like the worst shit you can find. I would drink it and give you a detailed review. And after about 6 months, my liver just said no more. Please stop.
What were some of the stuff that you tried?
Are you good friends with Malord?
Did
No.
we trigger somebody?
No. Nope.
I off the top of my head, there was a green tea liqueur. I can't remember what that's. I can't even remember what the shit is anymore. But I bought like a giant cheap bottle of rum called Happy Rum, and it just had a yellow smiley face on it.
I've seen that
Happy
before.
Rum.
I've seen
it
that
was
before.
$5 for just a giant
Yep.
jug of it. And that's what stopped. Happy Rum is what made me give up. I tapped out after Happy Rum.
Now, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there like?
There was apple jalapeno wine.
Ugh.
That's what inspired the site. I found a winery up in North Dakota, and when you think fine wine, you think North Dakota, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I found a friend of mine was having like a redneck and white trash party, and I found, I was like, what can I bring for this? And I found a place that sold dandelion wine and apple jalapeno wine. It's called Maple River Winery. If anyone wants to know the place there, I think they're still open. But the dandelion wine was bad. But that apple jalapeno was, you took a sip and you wanted to die when it came back up, and then you burp jalapenos. Just awful.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Mike, there's a very half decent chance that the wine tasting may come back from Mayhem, since nothing else is
Good.
going on.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I think the show should sponsor that. I think that's a wonderful idea. Nothing can go wrong.
Because then we could do that, or we could do a find the worst beer possible wine tasting, and do flights of shitty beers.
I'll hold the
Everybody
camera.
knows what shitty beers are.
What was that?
Everybody knows what shitty beers are. You're drinking one of them right now.
Thank you.
When I can get a 4-pack for $12, it's one of those. I'm not going for quality. I'm going for quantity. And I have some 4-packs in there that cost me $40, but those are for special occasions.
Is that your Busch Light?
No, that's Busch Heavy.
all right. Well, so my point is, we have qualified people here who want to share alcohol and cocktail recipes. So who would like to go first? Oh, and just FYI, we're going to start with our cocktail recipes, and then afterwards we're going to talk some hangover remedies, because as you know, this crowd, you've been to Spooky Empire, you're going to, if you yourself are not over drinking, you know someone who is. Perhaps you will learn something tonight that will alleviate their pain.
Probably you, the viewer. No, you guys, yes, but definitely the viewer.
All right.
This is
Well,
actually
Rob,
a
do you
fairly
want to?
responsible audience now that I'm looking at who's here. So we'll see.
Rob, do you want to go first? Because I know I'm gonna have to flip around my camera, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll go
actually
first. I'll
demonstrate
start
in
it.
front.
All right. So I want to show you guys something. At the beginning of the show, I mentioned I was drinking a gin and tonic. I like my gin and tonics. Do you want to make a fancy gin and tonic? You can muddle fruits and toss certain spices in, or you can make a redneck gin and tonic. And that's what I'm basically going to explain. Now I'm not going
You're
to make
up
one
my
right
alley
now.
right now.
So, but what you would do, you would take your gin. Bombay Sapphire always works. And then, you want a nice flavor. Did you know you can use jams and jellies in your cocktails?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You put a scoop of your jelly of choice, your jam preserves, whatever, fruit spread that you would like. Add it to your gin, shake quite a bit, strain, and then add your tonic. And now, guess what? You have a fruity gin and tonic. It could be strawberry, as I usually prefer, but try it with a mint jelly if you're feeling particularly jaunty.
Ooh.
And you've
Yeah, I
got a
could see
classy ass drink.
Is that what you're
I
doing?
could see that with some vodka
You can do it with
and make
vodka,
jelly and make your own kind of mojito.
if you like those really, as far as gins go, they kind of go the gamut of you got slightly citrusy gins, a neutral one, then you have the ones that take like a goddamn Christmas tree. You put the mint in one of those Christmas tree gins. There you go, folks. You have a holiday beverage that you can serve Grandpappy, and he'll pat you on the head and give you a nickel. Matt, you got something you'd like to recommend?
I got all kinds of recipes. I mean, you stick with the old fashioned, man. That's the way to go. It really is, and it's really easy to make. And you just gotta make sure you get the right bourbon. That's the important part. So I usually use Woodford Reserve because Blanton's is impossible to find, and that is my all-time favorite bourbon. But basically, all you're doing is you get a little, make yourself some simple syrup, and which is just basically half sugar, half water, melt it all down, gives you a nice little sweet syrup. Throw a little of that. Take a maraschino cherry and an orange and a muddler, muddle that down, and then I just actually bought, because on the Star Cruiser I had one of their old fashions on there, and they had this silver ball for their rocks, because you get all that fancy ice that comes from the super clear, super purified. They take forever to melt. Those are what those are made for. But this is a stainless steel ball with a liquid inside that freezes. So I bought a set of 4 of those now, and just put that in there, and then pour your bourbon on top, and you've got probably one of the best drinks out there. And if you want to get fancy, you can get these little smoker things and smoke them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I smoked the glass.
And actually, honestly, it's a show, but it does infuse into the bourbon, and it gives it a nice smoky flavor. Depending on what wood you use, you can use anything: cherry wood, apple wood,
Well, and not only does it to the
hickory, whatever.
it goes with the aroma of the glass, like stays with the glass instead of drink, like get it to your nostrils too.
Yeah. And I highly recommend, if you ever go to a place that has smoked old fashions, get one. They're well worth it.
That's actually a fun fact. Well, Rob, I was going to say, speaking of infusing, you have a past with infusing as well, if I recall.
Let me backtrack just once, because this just popped up.
Yes.
Wonderful Dallas of Wishmaster Cakes. Do I have the name right? Yeah. So she sells amazing cakes, folks.
Yep.
Go check.
She's right, but she's right though. She's absolutely right.
Well, see, some people get the pine tree. All right, that's the wrong gin. That's the wrong gin. What you want to do, first of all, I mentioned earlier, you can go, there's like a spectrum of gin. This one right here, this is Tanqueray Rangpur Lime. Now,
I got some of that.
Rangpur limes are actually oranges. I don't know where the breakdown in fruit came. It's not a lime, it's a fruit. Or sorry, it's an orange. So this is a very citrusy beverage. I actually do gin and tonics with this, and then I put in a few shakes of orange bitters. It's
Oh, yeah,
it's
don't
a
forget the bitters.
delight.
Don't forget the bitters on the old fashioned. I forgot about
Oh, you
that.
got to do the bitters. Gotta do the bitters.
Angostura bitters, even bitter, the bitter orange bitters will work. And any of them will really. You can put a chocolate bitter in there and give it a little, even a smokier, earthy flavor with the chocolate. There's so many bitters out there now; it's ridiculous.
And also, this is my standby, the Bombay Sapphire. This is more of a neutral spirit or a neutral gin. It's junipery. It's going to be a little Christmassy, not super Christmassy, but if you're sensitive, this would be as Christmassy as you'd want to go. But again, I would just recommend this stuff. And if I could remember the name of it, there's actually a fantastic strawberry gin out of a distillery in Puerto Rico, and holy crap, it's amazing. Wish I could remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I will not. So there we go. But yes, again, more people showing support for the old fashions and saying,
Oh yeah,
"Fuck
old
gin."
fashioned all the way.
I need fancy friends. I need English friends.
Well, see, I absolutely love an old fashioned.
And go the cowboy way.
Like that, and then also a lot of times when I do my whiskey and bourbons, like I always do them neat. Like I don't know, like I sometimes I do them on the rock, sometimes I do them neat. I have to be in a mood for it, but like you get a lot out of it when it's neat. Like it's different temperatures, like it's weird, but you get different flavors and
If you're going straight up, I prefer on the rocks just because that little bit of water kind of mellows everything down.
well, and
so you don't get that straight kick to the face that whiskey will and bourbons will give you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's right or not, but if I do them neat, I add a little splash of water to it.
Yeah, it just smooths everything out.
Do you know why I like a cube of ice in my whiskey? Do you know who said that's a good idea? David Coverdale.
Really?
And if you can't trust David Coverdale,
here we go again.
But
I'm just saying, it's
actually a pretty classy man. So
he is a classy man.
Yeah.
And plus, he bailed out on Tawny Katane when she went nuts.
Enough said.
Good for him.
All right. Well, let me figure this out really quick. Setting camera. 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Robin also has a good tip. For those of you who might be watching on YouTube, I'm just going to share this. I know the Facebook people can read it, but YouTube people who watch the show can't read the Facebook messages and vice versa. That's actually one of the nice reasons for showing this. But apparently Total Wine has a great old-fashioned mix. So if you don't want to bring a whole cocktail kit, if you don't want to bring fruit to muddle, if you don't want to bring muddling tools to muddle, if perhaps you don't have the rock-hard muddling device to jam in there.
You said rock hard.
I did, because I was going to say penis, and I didn't. So
can y'all see me?
We can.
Okay. So sorry, I'm doing this on my wonderful here. So
Mike, make it a speak up because we can't hear you real well.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a wonderful little contraption called, it's actually called a Michelada, but I do it the Citrus County way. I love it with Mexican beer, but when you're white trash like me, you use Natty Light. So, take a glass, wonderful Spooky Empire glass.
I see what you did there.
Take your line. You got to give it a good rim job. Nice rim job. Good rim job.
So he's saying you got to give Petey a nice rim job. That's what he's saying.
That's what he said. Anyway, take this wonderful stuff. If you've never had it before, this is great. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Tajin, I don't know. Tajin. It's like a chili lime concoction. And you sprinkle it all on the rim.
There's such an easier way to do that.
I know, but I'm from Citrus County. So, then you also take your lime.
But you got a plate right there.
Yeah, but...
Sorry.
I'm also not a bartender. I know you are.
That's obvious.
Mike, when you have a minute, could you show off the Lemmy mug?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yes,
pretty dope
please.
back there.
Oh, this guy.
Y'all, look at that.
Yes.
He's cool. Wonderful bag. He's been dropped before, so he's cool back there. Anyway, so you got that. Now, you're gonna take your wonderful natty light. About yay much. Probably about a third. Let that get in there. Now, I also like it hot, so I'm gonna use Freak Show's Unlimited Voodoo juice.
Oh,
Good
look at that.
choice.
Product placement.
Good
That's
choice.
good stuff.
Little.
Matt, where can we find Voodoo Juice?
Well, it will be on freakshowunlimited.com in the hot sauce section. And the FU sauces shortly, as soon as I have time to get the website working. Otherwise,
Yeah.
come see me at the show.
Yeah, great hot sauce. Amazing hot sauce.
Nice choice on your mix, because that's the best mix on the planet right there.
I love that sauce. So, and then just a wonderful Bloody Mary mix, and you top it off with that.
They also have like a mega spicy one. Don't use that. You'll shit blood.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
you
so
will.
good.
And then,
I love
How
how
about
Matt,
a little
Matt
more
just
beer?
gets all sorts of hot and bothered about like shitting blood. Oh, so good.
but yeah, so that right there is a Citrus County Bloody Mary, and it is absolutely wonderful.
Now, in the real world, we call that red eye.
Well, see, I always known it as a Mickey Alata or Chilada. Normally use Modelo's for it, which it tastes better with Modelo's, but when you're on a budget, use how you like.
Falling on a budget.
Yep. Hold on, let me turn my camera back around. God damn it. Running back. Hold on.
Now, you want
There
to
you
talk about the second greatest drink on the planet, and that would be Bloody Marys, because there's so much you can do with that.
What was
So
it? Just a
much
regular
better.
Bloody Mary?
Especially, we're talking hangover cures. I mean, we're talking
Yeah,
hangover
and that's
cures.
one of them. And what he just made is one of those.
But now, see,
Sure.
when you
Super
do
hangover cure.
Bloody Mary, do you do a Bloody Mary or a Bloody Maria?
I don't do tequila.
See, I like it better with the tequila, which is the Bloody Maria, because I think that the tequila gives it a little bit more flavor than a just used vodka.
But if you're going to do a Bloody Maria, do it with a mezcal. Just because you're going to get that smoky flavor in there.
Yeah.
And that'll make it even better. Because it'll be like roasted tomatoes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
He's right.
no, it's a damn good drink.
And then you got the good old Clamato juice.
See,
The-
I don't
no,
do
no.
Clamato. I can't do clam.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That's why I don't. When I go to the gas station, I don't get the Budweiser Chiladas because they use Clamato juice. You get the Modelo's one, and the Modelo's is just like Bloody Mary mix, just a tomato base.
Just
You were
just
saying,
a
Rob.
quick heads up, when it comes to hangover relief, Dr. Drew has endorsed having an extra beer in the morning
Mhm.
because part of it is your body is craving more alcohol. That is one of the reasons you have a hangover. So giving it a small amount of alcohol is actually an okay thing to do. Again,
Which
that's
is
from
exactly
Dr.
why a
Drew.
Bloody Mary is so popular.
And mimosas.
I don't like drinking anything tomatoey. I gotta be honest, not my thing.
Well, if you're making
love
a Bloody Mary right, you're not really getting that much. You know, it's
It
a matter
doesn't
of
matter.
mixing it
It's
properly.
there.
Dude, you throw a stick of celery in there, you throw a stick of well done bacon in there, some blue cheese olives.
Can
Oh,
I just have the
See,
bacon?
it's breakfast. No,
See,
you cannot.
Just have breakfast?
See, we have a local barbecue joint on the other side of town that does a Bloody Mary that is amazing, like with stuff like that added on top of it. So they have their great Bloody Mary mix, and they actually make their own. And I substitute mine for tequila all the time, but it comes with a giant chunk, probably about that big, of smoked brisket and a couple of the cocktail onions, a jalapeno popper wrapped in bacon, and then also another chunk of beef brisket at the end. And then you just put that in there, and
Looks like Matt's
Might
gonna
have
need
to-
his
I might
bib to
have-
catch all the
yeah, I'm gonna
jewels.
need a. I'm gonna need a directions for that.
well,
that place.
it's actually Bubba Q's. They have a location in Crystal River. I think they have a location in Wildwood too, which would be close to you. I believe it's in Wildwood.
That's
I
my
gotta
work. Yeah.
double check. But yeah, no, they only have like 2 or 3 locations. That's it. But it's fucking amazing. It is. Anytime I
I
go,
just-
like
We
it's worth
y'all have been to Hatch House of Go Go. They have
I've
they have their BLT Bloody Mary, which I just took a bunch of my bartenders from the villages out there because they've never been, and they've actually expanded their Bloody Mary menu. They got like 5 different ones now.
Oh,
So they're $17, but they're really good.
well, and that's why the one that I was just talking about is $12. And everybody's like buying that. I'm like, yo, I have lunch on the damn,
Yeah.
sitting on the damn thing.
Exactly. But I mean, honestly, I think that's the key to a good hangover is, I mean, you know, we all suggest Bloody Marys, but I mean, like a proper Bloody Mary, you know, without Clamato juice, as an example, you know, and with just the proper amount of either beer or vodka. Absolutely.
That, and then for good hangover, Waffle House. Just go to Waffle House.
Well, I was going to say, if you're either loading
Shitty
up
coffee.
on carbs, loading up on carbs, or honestly, a lot of salt, you know, because one of the things that I think is the best hangover cure, especially if you get like that gator jerky or like venison
Yep.
jerky.
Venison jerky is pretty amazing. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I
Oh.
saw
It cures
venison jerky
everything.
brought me back to life at Dragon Con when I had one of the top 3 hangovers of my life. Somebody gave me a couple pieces of that, and within an hour, I was alive again.
Well, see, you gotta have homemade venison.
And it was homemade.
That's exactly it.
And it is so good. And then also, if you've ever get a chance to do it, bear jerky, black bear jerky.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Try that.
Oh, it's so
I eat
good.
that. Damn!
There they go.
The fuck?
Probably a cat in the yard. They're gonna go get
I
rid
was
of.
gonna say, like, fucking, you got chupacabra behind you or something.
I did want to share 2 other hangover relief, ideas that are out there.
After that, I
Mike
got
did say
two.
waffle. Mike said Waffle House, which is brilliant. McDonald's breakfast sandwiches are pretty damn.
Oh my
good for that
God.
as well.
The egg and cheese biscuit, I don't know what it is, what they put, what chemicals, but fantastic.
That, and then you've also got Crystals and you've got White Castle.
Yeah. Oh
Perfect
yeah. That's
for
the White
hangovers.
Castle over there. Yeah.
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 I mean,
The
y'all need to
other-
remember
what I-
this for May. So write this shit down. This is important. There
And this
will
is
be a
this
test.
is funny because years ago, and now we know one of the things your body needs after a hangover is electrolytes.
Yep.
Yes, that's why they say drink Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
The stupidest blog I've ever read in my life was from a woman in her early 20s, and what she was trying to determine what the best hangover relief is. Dallas, we're going in this direction because Dallas just mentioned
Yes.
Pedialyte.
Correct.
This
Yeah.
woman who wrote the blog, she was
Electrolytes,
basically
huge.
saying, it's like, look, I like to get fucked up and drink a lot, but for my hangover relief, I don't want to drink anything with a lot of calories so I don't get fat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's just ignore that you just
The
booze out of
blaring-
your mind from the night
yeah.
before. Liquor is pure calories, people.
Yep.
But she's worried
Nothing but
about
sugar.
gaining weight after the fact. Fine, you're an idiot, but long story short, what she ended up recommending, and while her reasoning was stupid, the end results are correct. Frozen Pedialyte pops.
Yep.
If you don't want to just, for whatever reason, if you're in a real bad place and your stomach can't even take Gatorade or Pedialyte or whatever, the
Basically,
frozen
me and Mike
pops
is what
will
you're saying.
actually are the safest way to
Yeah.
try to keep it. It's basically ice chips with, the electrolytes.
Yeah. And see, when we go to Spooky, I always bring a thing of Pedialyte with me, like Walmart brand, because regular Pedialyte is more expensive. But I always bring that, and it's not necessarily I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get so fucked up, I'm gonna need this. It's one of those. It's good to have also with the amount of walking and everything else that you're doing. It helps you keep hydrated. So it's always one of those. I make sure. Well, and Sabrina also makes sure like if I'm too far gone before bed, have at least like a glass of it, and as soon as you wake up, and just having that glass before bed actually really does help a lot. And then also pickle juice. I'll a lot of times like I have
Mm.
I get the pickle pops that are it's basically the same thing. It's push pops that's pickle juice that you freeze that
The
and
vinegar, yeah, that
yeah,
helps a lot too.
the vinegar and all that it
It's the
helps
acidity.
with cramping all that stuff. Um, but it hydrates you like super fast. Like so, anytime there's a lot of like sporting events going on in school, all of the coaches will have like they'll have Gatorade snaps. They'll have coolers specifically of the pickle
Pickle
juice
brine.
pop,
Mhm.
And the reason
it
the
helps
reason
both
that
of
works is because pickle brine is basically it's vinegar and salt, and
Mhm.
salt is your electrolyte.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that's there's tons of salt in there, so that's going to help a lot. Another good thing to do if you can remember, if you're not too wasted, is drink one big glass of water, take a big multivitamin and a
Yes.
thing of
Because
BC
of the B
powder right
vitamins
before
and
you
the-
go to bed,
Yep.
Yep.
and that'll help when you wake up.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's the key right there is doing something before you go to bed will help lessen all the severity in
when
the
you get
morning.
up. Yeah.
So yes.
Even
Well,
if it's
if we
just
were
one
going to be
glass of
honest,
water.
just not drinking fixes everything, right?
Well, that's true
that's
too,
no
but what's the
fun.
fun in that?
Yeah, that's no fun. But if you're going to drink, like I said, just right before, when you go back and you're just stripping everything off, whatever, water, multivitamin, like I said, B and zinc are incredibly important when it comes to that, and before you get up the next day. So before you pass
I
out, but
I
not
do have
Tylenol. For
one
some
thing.
reason, Tylenol doesn't
BC,
seem to do the
BC
trick.
powder.
Yeah,
BC powder is the best and the quickest way to get it into your system,
yeah,
right under your tongue.
he's
There
right.
is this new stuff that we actually found at the Walgreens next to Wyndham. That was the first time I saw it, but it's now starting to come to our county too. It's called Morning Recovery. It's like a little drink, almost like an energy drink looking thing.
Does it
And
work though?
I was going to say,
it
I've
does.
seen like 50
It,
million
it,
of
it
those.
does. It
Yeah.
does. I promise you, because now anytime we go to Spooky, I get them, and you drink it right before bed, and I swear to God, it like I. The last time I took it was when I ended up sitting there and drinking 15 beers, and I was gone. And I drank it, and I woke up the next morning, and I had a little bit of a hangover, but that's it. Like I was able to go away quick, which that would have been a me in bed all day long hangover.
Funny story that Mike is mentioning this. Orlando has there's a
There you go, Allison.
giant,
That's what I'm talking about.
Orlando has a giant there is a giant alcohol convention. It bounces back and forth between Orlando and Vegas. And, one will host and then it goes back and forth each year. It's like the 4A show, American Association of Alcohol Distributors, or something like that. We had a family member who used to get me a ticket to go into this because it's like $1,000. It's a business show,
Yeah,
but it was $1,000 to get in. She always arranged me to spend a day in there, and I got to try
Super
some
high-end,
pretty
yeah.
amazing stuff. But I actually was there when Morning Recovery was there trying to find a distributor. The guys had made it, and they were trying to find somebody to start.
so you know what I'm
distributing it.
talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
and it.
Well, but here's now. I don't remember who I shared it with. I ended up not using it because, contrary to popular belief, I really don't drink that much anymore. But I ended up sharing.
That's what happens
it with
when you get old.
I may have shared it with like the guys at Hydra. I don't remember who anymore. Some Dragon Con friends, if they're watching, cool. But I remember the feedback I got from them. They were like, "Where can we get more?
Yeah,
Where can we get this?"
it worked. I've tried a couple of like those things that say, oh, helps with like recovery and all that. This is the first one that I've ever tried that I'm actually like it works, and I recommend it to people. I would not be recommending it to you if I thought it was like, hey, it just kind of helps.
This is not a paid sponsored ad, is what I'm
No,
saying.
it helps a lot, and it's really not expensive.
That's awesome.
It's like a 4-ounce thing, and it's like
It's like a 5-hour energy.
$5.
Yeah.
It's like $4 or $5. That's it. And it actually doesn't taste bad either. I forgot what the flavor was. I think it was like a berry or something like that. But it's not like one
That
of
does
those,
sound familiar, actually.
horrible berry type things. But it is.
Rob,
it
wasn't that the
works.
same
It
one that we
really
brought to
does.
Dragon Con? I couldn't remember if that was the name of it or not.
I
Because there was
don't
something we
remember
swore
if I
by
had
after
it
that
at
trade
Dragon
show.
Con or not. So that's too far back now. We're talking over
I
a
know.
decade ago for me.
I know, I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
But just chiming in with the chat. Robin has said it. The maybe the most simple advice: treat it like a marathon, not a sprint. That's a good
Yeah,
key.
nobody does that. So
No, exactly. We will give that
it's a
advice.
great
That's
thought.
official,
that is a
but-
great thought, Robin. Great
Yes.
thought.
It's a great
But
thought.
it doesn't work that
I
way.
started out that way, and then after I have for me, it's 3 strong drinks.
Mhm.
And then it's over.
Where if I don't stop after drink number 3, fuck it, life doesn't matter anymore. I'm gone. After the third drink, and that's really, like I said, even the third is a little questionable. But after that, that's where the line is. That's where I'm
Yeah.
going to go turn into super ultra fun Rob, or
Yeah.
or sleeping Rob.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
we're sleeping.
or it's like I'm going to
Yeah.
sleep okay and
Oh,
just simply live with whiskey dick.
Well, and that's why people might make fun of me for drinking natty lights and all that. If I'm going to
No,
be
it's a marathon.
and I'm going to be out there for a long time in
yeah,
that.
that's why I drink like
It-
ciders and yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. These are 4.2%. I can drink a 12-pack of them and still be alive, kicking, and not have a hangover. Now, if I went and brought one of my beers that I absolutely love, that I have 2 of them and they're 8%. Yeah, no, I'm only going to have 2 of them because I know if I do more than that, I'm going to be face first on the ground. It's one of those. You got to figure out
Because
what
that's a
works for
smart
you.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Actually,
and
I think that's a
Allison-
great idea though, because Allison, wants to ditch the kids and have a drink with us at Spooky. You know what? I think that would be a great idea to make a meet and greet on Friday night at Spooky.
we may do the wine tasting.
Yeah. That alcohol tasting,
I
whatever.
had hosted a shitty wine tasting. Not even shitty. Some of the wine was good.
Yeah, some of the wine was actually really good that we had. Some of it
And I'm
sucked, but
sitting,
there was
I'm
a
sitting
couple.
on one really good bottle right now. It's a peach tarragon sangria.
Ooh,
It's delightful.
I'm
I
not
love
even a
it.
wine person. That sounds wonderful.
So we may do.
You know what I'd like to actually
That's a
do
great idea.
with that?
I mean, there's really not much happening at Spooky.
We should
so
do
yeah,
that.
for
We
my
should do that,
birthday.
Friday
My
night,
birthday
and then
weekend.
Saturday night we should all have everybody make a big group event out of it. Everybody go get 1 4-pack craft beer that is not normal flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got some stuff in my fridge that'll be like, what the hell? I've got like an apricot wheat beer. I've got
Oh,
That actually sounds
blueberry
good.
beer
that
in
sounds
there.
really good.
I got some weird things that, when I was running the coffee shop and we had the beer license, I would just bring in some completely random shit. One was called Unicorn Farts.
People enough time.
I've
Yeah.
had that, but that's a sour.
Unicorn fart beer.
is
All
sour.
right.
Yeah, it's a sour beer that is flavored with Fruity Pebbles, and it's pink, and it's got edible glitter.
Yeah,
in it.
Sabrina loved it.
It's
I
actually
hated
pretty
it.
good.
I'm not a sour fan.
Save one for my birthday. That is what I'm drinking on my birthday.
Total Wine. They've got them all year long.
Yeah.
That's like their biggest customer. Total Wine, Dew Claw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Duke.
But I think we should do like a weird, random craft
Yeah,
beer
however
thing.
we want to do it. We can totally talk about that. We can get feedback from.
We'll just get
from
the little
everybody
shot glasses and we'll share with everybody. And
That works.
taste
Yeah,
them.
get disposable shot glasses. Yeah, and do it in honor of my birthday because why
There you
not?
go.
That's right.
All right,
If
we
you
go
haven't
to
understood,
All right, so-
Denny's birthday is going to be around Spooky or Mayhem.
Yeah,
so-
no, my birthday is literally Thursday night, so I'm celebrating the whole weekend. Studio 54 all fucking weekend because I'm 54.
All right, well,
Thank you guys for joining us.
yeah,
It's
we shared
fucking
good
awesome.
knowledge tonight.
Yeah. So go watch the Oscars. If you give a shit, we won't. I mean, well, I won't. I don't know about everybody else. But thank you for joining us. I think we have an outro this time around. Am I right?
No,
Nope.
we don't.
We do not.
It'll,
All right.
it's still
So-
rendering right now, unfortunately.
It's all good. Okay.
Next
you know
time.
what? Until next time, fuck all y'all.